that's just experience and pure brilliance.
In this episode, we meet our new host.
To spend with those birds, to be able to get that right.
And catch up with a familiar friend.
Babies of this town, yeah? You always hear them in the morning. Yeah.
We speak to the person keeping a legend going.
A lot. So that's pretty much along the lines of what we've done there, and I think it's worked well.
And share some amazing excitement.
Oh, squirrel, right here. On the front, squirrel. Here. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Birding Diaries. We're back with yet another amazing show, and in this episode we visit KZN, and specifically a King's View guest house in Eshowe. Now you ask yourself, why are we here in the middle of winter? Well, we'll get to that in a minute. But first, some news. And I'm excited to announce the release of the new edition of Newman's Birds by Colour. This is a very fascinating book, and you may ask yourself, why birds by colour? I mean, most of us more advanced birders who have experience with birds are using a full field guide. We know our families. But let's say you're a complete beginner and you are not well versed with families. You see a crimson-breasted shrike, but you don't know shrikes. You don't know what family it belongs to. Wouldn't it be great to have a book that you just open and you switch to the red birds, and lo and behold, all the birds with red on are in front of you, and you look and you find the bird that best matches what you've seen. And that is where this comes in. What it does do over time as a birder, you start to build confidence, you get to know what shrikes are, you get to know what luries or taracos or ibises are, and from there you can move on to your full field guide. But for beginners, this is a brilliant place to start. And of course, Ken Newman sadly passed away many years ago. This book has been updated by Nick Newman, Ken Newman's son, and his two sisters, Pam and Vanessa. And it is great to see the Newman brand continuing and these books being updated the whole time. And just as an aside, I often get asked if I'm related to Ken Newman. I get asked that question quite a lot. I've always stated clearly that I'm not. And so much so that I'm actually thinking of having a I'm not related to Ken Newman t-shirt printed. But jokes aside, we have a chat with Nick Newman a little bit later on in the show, and we actually caught up with him at Zachkelsdrift Lodge. The other thing you may be asking is, I'm here on the show on my own, and where's my co-host Shannon? Sadly, for none of us, this Birding Diaries show is not our full-time job. We have other commitments, and Shannon's away on business opening another one of her amazing stores, so she sadly couldn't join us for this episode. We have posted on social media that we're introducing a new host in Christo Swart, who's joined our show, and he'll make an appearance a little bit later in the show. But back to KZN. You know, you ask why winter bird? The birding's great in summer. Well, most of the specials in KZN are twitchable most of the year round. However, the Mangrove Kingfisher isn't. It's a winter visitor. It's one of the most sought after kingfishers in southern Africa, and that is why we are here.
What a day. Long drive.
It was a tough day on the road.
Yes, no, indeed it was. But I think worth it to be here.
Definitely. Especially all the birds we got on the way as well. So.
No, exactly. But I mean, you've never been.
No. My first time here. I mean, that's the reason why I was so keen on coming with. So.
No, exactly. And I mean, what you haven't witnessed, I mean, Junior's imitation of green barbet is legendary.
Yeah, that's just experience and pure brilliance. I mean, the time he had to spend with those birds to be able to get that right. I mean,
No, that's cool. And I suppose, I mean, for me, there are not too many laughers, but if you had to really say, if we went out tomorrow and you only got one bird, what would you choose?
there's a lot to choose from.
Yes.
You know what? I think I'll opt for the Mangrove Kingfisher. I mean, if I get that ticked off, I completed my collection of the Kingfishers families in Southern Africa.
No, well, closing families is cool. Yeah, for me, I mean, it's really tricky. It's sure. I mean, there's so many nice ones, but as I say, I've seen them all. If I had to really choose, probably the scaly-throated honeyguard. I mean, we got it last time walking around Klinza.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, such a difficult bird to see. Thing was in the tree, scanning the branches. Eventually, I was literally lying on my back, camera pointing up at the sky. Yeah.
That's birding.
No, exactly.
Getting down and dirty with it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's to Saturday's birding.
Good luck.
Yes. My favourite. We are ham and cheese. Cannot go birding without ham and cheese. Perfect. Now to just clean up. Voila. This is going to be good.
I wonder if he's gonna like this. Can't wait to see his reaction.
Saturday morning saw an early start in Mtunzini.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, those are crying babies of this town. Yeah? You always hear them in the morning. Ga, 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 ga. Yeah. Okay, guys, basically we're going to start from here. This is Umlala's Nature Reserve. There's lots of good beds. So we're going to start walking to the grasslands, from the grassland to the mangroves. So we're looking for those special beds like mangrove kingfisher at this time. Green malkoa, because there's a nice bush at the back there. Green malkoa, black-dotted wetlie, which just had it already. Green twin spots, African finfoot, half-colored kingfisher, all those super specials around here. So, yeah, so we're looking forward to this. It's a nice weather, obviously. So, yeah, so we'll take a walk from here, then we'll go through all the way down and, yeah, see what we can find around those areas. Yeah, it's going to be an amazing day, eh? I hope you look forward. Thank you. Yeah, cheers. Sorry?
We'll take one of each.
Definitely, yes, yeah. Now there's going to be lots of surprises, I'm telling you. It's a wonderful, one of the top spots in KZN for birding, yeah. It's going to be wonderful, yeah.
This is going to be good.
So how is your knowledge on trees, eh? There's lots of eastern golden weavers there.
That flock was the eastern golden.
Yes, the eastern golden weaver, that flock, yeah. There's some there left as well. I saw quite a few down there by the raffia palms. Yes, it's a green bull calling, but it's a dark cap bulbul that is the yes. But the green bull is around the same vicinity. Yeah, I think they're here somewhere. The green bulls. Yeah, it's hopping on that tree at the back to the right of this big one. It's just hopping there. Yeah, he's hopping on that small tree to the right, the bottom one. Oh, grey sunbird. Did you hear that? Eh? That's a grey sunbird.
Junior's knowledge of calls was impressive.
Oh. Another one just landed. Puff back, eh? Yeah. Snowball.
And finally, Mangrove Kingfisher.
In the blue, yeah. Wow, that's one of the top specials.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a great bird to see. Yeah.
Good job.
So they only winter in KZN. We don't see them in the summer months.
That's
So I've
my
got two
10th
populations.
live
It's a very small population coming from the Eastern Cape, part of the Eastern Cape, and there's a huge population from Mozambique. So lots of these birds, yeah, it's very interesting.
I never saw this bird in Mozambique, but obviously where we were,
Oh yeah,
they
sure.
didn't have them. In the southern part of Mozambique.
The southern part of Mozambique. Yeah.
Where are they in Mozambique?
I'm not quite sure, but which areas they do okay. Yeah, in probably the
What was the other area that you
it's Eastern Cape,
Oh, okay.
more like yeah. Looking for the palm nut, guys, as we're going out.
Palm nut. We're going to hold you to that. Off we go. On Goya, here we come. Junior's promised us palm nut. I hope he delivers.
Yeah, so basically we're here for the very special bird called green barbets. It's a very nice, one of the top specials in this area. Not only for South Africans, but even the foreign birders, like international birders, they come to this forest specifically to see the green barbets. Obviously, there are quite a few specials like green malco around, yellow streak green bull, brown striped robin, striped pipits on the rocky outcrops, and there's lots of obviously in the grasslands there's one of the special it's called a black ram button quail up in the grasslands. But yeah, obviously it's very interesting to know how the population of green barbets survive in this area. Obviously they only here specifically because they feed predominantly on fig species, which is this forest is only one forest in South Africa where it has the highest diversity of fig species in this area. Yeah, so we're looking at about 300 birds in this forest. It's about 4,000 hectares in size. Yeah, so it's very interesting. We've seen lots of white-eared barbets at the bottom down at Mtunzini. But we also have white-eared barbets around here, but there's a huge competition between those two species, green barbet and white-eared barbets. They're competing specifically for like the food. So sometimes you find them chasing each other, but which is white-eared barbets, they always win because they occur in small groups. That's why they always white-eared barbets, they always win the fight because they're always in huge numbers. Yeah. But there's also other good mammals there. There's a very special squirrel called the Ngoya red squirrel, which occurs in this area. It's one of the beautiful squirrels, huge fluffy tail and a beautiful red squirrel. Yeah. So cool. I hope you looking forward to it. Eh? Excellent.
We are.
And the search for the barbet began.
Pretty cool milestone bird.
Yeah, Junior's ability to mimic that call is quite legendary. It's really impressive to see. So obviously interesting debate that's been going on. I mean, whether the Barbet here is another species or not. I mean, what's your take? You know them better than anyone else, I think.
Yeah, I would also, I would say it's a separate species. Yeah, and I think you could remember that this bird in the first place, the green barbet now in Ongoye, it used to be Woodward's barbet.
Yeah.
So I remember the Woodward's brothers, the ones that discovered this bird. And it was then changing to green barbet, linking to the one in East Africa. And it's been known as the green barbet, but people that don't feel most birders, they still think that it's a separate species according to genetically.
Yeah.
It's I know that there's a huge people they haven't decided whether they should take this one back to Woodward's, but I think according to the information that links to this bird to Woodward's, I think they are. It's going to that direction to where it's going to be called taken back to Woodward's barbet.
And for anyone who's noticed a bird calling in the background, to put you on the spot, what's that?
Oh, that's a grey-headed bushshrike. It's well, yes. it's one of the famous birds, and people they know about the sound, and most birders they know about it. Yeah,
yes.
It's a very interesting call.
It is.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
4x4 time. Yeah. Junior's secret green barbet spot.
Walking down.
And we definitely needed the 4x4s.
Perfect.
But the laughter never stopped.
No, I'm just kidding. Now we have to try somewhere else. Yeah. Now we still have a chance. Yeah. Yeah, we've got Nikita, which is a nice one. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, you put it in. KW 2 van dat. In sy orkes.
En dit was 'n ware eend.
Yes.
We're going back there. Say we're going to do that forest there, the top.
Okay, and we saw after we heard the olive bushshrike. Eh?
We had the olive bushshrike.
Okay.
So we're going back down this road.
The same way, yeah.
Okay, cool.
And walk for the barbet we did. With Junior's ever-patient ear listening.
Okay, so what we're going to do, let's go back there.
Yeah.
Let's go back there.
Then finally,
Yeah. I can hear. I've just said it.
Keep it as still as you possibly can. Let go. I can see where it is, okay.
Well done.
Well done.
500 up.
Awesome.
We can go home now, eh?
With
a smile.
No, we need the marine.
You didn't rain now?
Yeah.
You said yesterday. I said, yeah.
only
Oh, green McCoy. Oh, yeah, the list is growing. Great one, guys. It's exciting. Yeah, a special one. Yeah. Wonderful.
Right, let's do this.
The special thing is watching him make his call.
Yes.
He's mocking him the whole
but
Yeah.
the excitement wasn't over.
Oh, squirrel, right here. On the front, squirrel. Here.
Out of the way.
Yeah.
The enigmatic Ongoya red squirrel was just as special. But our time at Angoya had come to an end. So, palm nut vulture at Emoyeni at the dam last year. We got them there as well. So there's a few chances still for palm nut vulture. So all is not lost.
Yeah, so what we're going to do now, we're going to spread out about 10 meters in between. Then we walk in line and try to flush it. We are almost, I know exactly more or less where they roost. It's not guaranteed, but we're only allowed to do one flush. I'm trying to conserve these birds because they're one of the sensitive species, so I'm trying to not to disturb them.
Due to sensitivity, we could not reveal the exact location of the nightjars. But we were not disappointed.
Lunch. Christo, is this you?
What did I tell you? I'm going to get you back.
Bliksem springs to mind.
And finally, palm nut vulture, the final prize of the day. But we were not done yet.
Sunday morning, we're heading off to Klinza. Yesterday was brilliant, but we're hoping for an arena trogon, which the guys saw yesterday near the hide. So should be a cracking morning, and hopefully we'll finally close out the last few species we missed. So we're at Klinza, gonna head up to the lookout tower on the boardwalk and look for eastern bronze-nape pigeon.
The forest at Klinza will have you in awe.
I love this aerial boardwalk, but I must say, I'm not good with heights myself. It is a little bit disconcerting. So if you're scared of heights, this lookout tower is going to freak you out. Always freaks me out. You end up 5 stories above the ground, and it's got stairs you can see through. So this is going to be a barrel of laughs. And to top it all, it's got a lovely see-through mesh floor. Good heavens, this isn't pleasant. And here we are at the top, Eastern Bronze-neck pigeon. What a view.
The eye-level birding at the top of the lookout never disappoints.
So when you come to Cleanser, you don't only want to do the aerial boardwalk, which is brilliant, but you must come off the boardwalk and do these forest floor walks. Spotted ground thrush, terrestrial brown bull, also a good chance to see Narina trogon down here as well. Yeah, so do these walks.
I just can't get enough of this forest, visit after visit.
I cannot believe that there's a forest like this right in the middle of a town like Eshowe. I mean, absolutely incredible. Small, but just you're in here and you're not even aware of people.
And then we hit the jackpot.
And that is Eastern Bronze-neck pigeon in the bag. Not an easy one to get, and actually we didn't get it from the lookout tower. Christo actually picked it up from the forest floor. So really cool sighting, keen eyes, and our last major target species in the bag. Back at the guest house for breakfast, but what an absolutely amazing garden. We've already seen trumpeter hornbill, olive sunbird in the garden, but I must say after Junior's really impressive impersonation of green barbet the other day, I'm feeling a little bit upstaged, so I'm going to try and call up a purple crested tarako.
So see if you can find movement, you can find a bird.
The birding from the balcony was just as good.
Ja.
Daar sit hy met die goeie sien. You get them in water Sicily as well.
Yes. I think here's the
But we had one more stop.
So we've arrived at Benvie Gardens. This is OrangeGround thrush heaven. Absolutely spectacular place.
Welcome to our From the Field section. First off, I did mention earlier in the show, we're going to introduce a brand new host on the show in Christo Swart. And here he is with me on the From the Field section. Christo, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Doug. It's such a privilege to be here.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. I mean, as everyone saw, we had a blast in KZN.
Yeah, I couldn't get enough.
Well,
I almost stayed longer there.
Exactly. Well, I still owe you for the sandwich, so that's coming.
Oh, goodness. Well,
Yes.
it's going to be tennis between me and you.
Exactly. So, obviously, as we always mention, for the remainder of the season, the From the Field section is brought to you by Camelot. They were gracious in sponsoring us with some gear for the show. So, again, they gave us some tripods and some filters. It's a great place for those sort of accessories and so on. The link to the Camelot site is in the description of this video. But now on to our From the Field section. So you've got something to share with us to open the section of the show.
Yes, something very exciting. I mean, we are all looking for chestnut banded plovers everywhere, and you can't find them. The best place in Gauteng or wider Gauteng to go and find them is Lupan.
Yes.
And they are back this year. I mean, in greater numbers as well.
Yeah, I saw, I think it was about 5 or 6 of them that someone reported at the late end of the summer just past.
Yes, I mean, and that's a very easy teachable bird for people living in Gauteng. I mean, it's maybe an hour's drive from Joburg.
Yeah, exactly. So we got some footage the previous season at Leeuwpan. We got really close, they're really tame. So let's take a look.
Aren't they cute, eh? Chestnut banded plovers. So, Doug, you actually have another piece that you want to enter into the From the Field section.
Yes, so actually I got sent a series of photographs by a birding friend of mine. He was actually part of our first birding big day team in the last couple of years. And he got a series of photos in Kruger of a fork-tailed drongo mobbing a martial eagle.
What?
Exactly.
No, man. But
And
how do they, where do they get the courage? I mean,
yeah, I mean, it's amazing how brave these drongos can get.
Yeah.
I mean, trying to chase off something as big as a martial eagle. So have a look at these series of photographs.
wasn't that amazing? I mean, it's like a little Heinrich Brousseau on a rugby field, eh? Guys, please, this little section of From the Field is not just about us. It's about you guys going out into the field and sharing your sightings with us. So please, send in your videos. Please contact Doug either on the Facebook page, or you can do it on the WhatsApp group that we have. And talking about the Facebook page, if you didn't like the Facebook page yet, go down to Facebook, search Simply Birding Africa, and go and like the page. There's so much information that you can gain from the page.
And now, as mentioned in the opening part of the show, I recently caught up with Nick Newman at Zachelsdrift to chat to him about what he's doing for the Newman brand. Hey Nick, how's it going?
Hi Doug, well and yourself?
Fine, thanks.
Good.
Yeah, so I suppose obviously the exciting news is the new edition of Newman's Birds by Colour. I mean, the need for the rework of the book?
Yeah, I think there was a big need, updating names and distribution maps obviously, and we've included photographs for every illustration in the book as well. and increased the number of species to about 610 commonly seen birds in the Southern African region. And yeah, just photographs allow for a really good, helpful companion to identification to new birders.
And I mean, I've got a range of field guides. There's full field guides by a number of authors, but the need for a birds by colour, who would this book apply to?
It's for new beginner birders and those that are interested just in the natural environment that they find themselves in. So it really is to assist with easy identification and the principles of how to ID birds. And it really is set at that level to make it as easy as possible to find out what you've just seen in the bush.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly is helpful to look them up by sort of the main active colour component. I think the key thing, I mean, obviously your father, Ken Newman, was known for his phenomenal artwork. How do you go about augmenting these books with additional work while still maintaining the incredibly high standard that he had?
Yeah, so we've updated a lot of the illustrations digitally, so rescanned them, which has helped a lot. So that's pretty much along the lines of what we've done there, and I think it's worked well. Every now and again, my sister would also help with some of the illustrations. She's been very good at that. So yeah, it's been a good journey of bringing those things up to speed.
Yeah, and I suppose that would lead on to my next question. You know, obviously Ken's work was really a pillar of the Southern African birding community. It's obviously not just yourself within the Newman family that's working on these books.
Yeah, my sisters help out with design and illustrations in the background, so yeah, very much a family business, and continuing the kind of legacy of what Newman's is, and getting as many people into birding as possible, and yeah, continuing that mission.
And you don't find it daunting taking over the mantle from someone as iconic as him?
No, I think it's just been really a privilege to be able to continue that work and foster a real interest in our natural history and birds to as many people as possible. It's been a great kind of journey and quite privileged to be able to continue that.
Yeah, and I suppose you must have additional ideas, new works, not just reworks in the pipelines for the Newman brand?
Yes, while I was doing this, I did the update of our app, which has been quite a task in itself, including a lot more illustrations and photos, and then sound clips, thanks to yourself as well for that. And yeah, it's been good. Obviously, the main stable is about making identification as easy as possible to birders and making it accessible to as many people as possible. So yeah, there's always some works on that level, and making sure we're helping fostering the love of birds.
And I suppose, you know, you mentioned the app. That would lead on to the next question. The younger generation of birders are slanted towards apps than books. Other than just an update, any possible future apps from the Newman brand?
No, I don't think anything new on that, but I think there's always a combination and augmentation between apps and the digital side of things integrating into books, and vice versa. I think books have a real place within the birding fraternity for helping. I find apps have a very focused view when you're in the field, and for new time birders that can be a bit too specific and focused, and you're not quite sure what you may have seen to compare it against. And that's where I think books are invaluable. They give a good reference and comparison for birders to try and work out what they may have seen. And the difference between a Cape sparrow and a house sparrow, for instance, it's nice to see the two comparisons side by side for a new time birder. So.
Well, interestingly enough, I mean, there was a debate going around on social media whether it was books or apps, and I think the general consensus was they both have their place in everyone's birding space.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there really is that side of things. Apps are great for taking into the field and as a light, easy reference guide. But when you're back home or at your camp at night, a book really helps enrich your birding experience a little bit more.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I suppose the ultimate question birders may ask, you know, as a celebrity, so to speak, with the Newman's brand in the birding world, what sort of birding style do you have? Are you a relaxed birder? Are you more on the competitive side?
I think I'm a combination. I think when it needs, I've done a couple of the birding big days, which are excellent challenges, and challenge yourself and your team to getting as many birds as you possibly can, and working hard to work out where they are and get the highest number you can. But I do enjoy slow birding and just sitting and appreciating the species, watching them, what their behavior is, and understanding them a little bit better. And yeah, just appreciating some of the smaller nuances that you might get when you're not just ticking a bird off in your list and rushing on to the next one, but actually just appreciating where you are in nature, and what's happening with those birds at that time of the year, or the different kind of habitats that you might find yourself in.
And I mean, I would imagine through the family influence, has birding always been a passion for you?
I think when I started off, birds were always small and flew away very fast, so it didn't always grab my attention. And I preferred butterflies because they're slower moving, more adorned with colors, and I could actually study them. But over time, in my teens, I really got hooked on birds, a little bit forced by my accompanying my parents around to many trips. So it was the love and passion of birds kind of crept into my psyche, but I really kind of took it off in my teens, and enjoyed it, and had real opportunities to appreciate some of the more amazing areas around the region and finding birds there. Yeah, it's been a lovely kind of growth of appreciation of birds.
And I must say, as a birder who's grown up with the Newman brand, it really is awesome to see that despite Ken's passing, the books are still being reworked and refreshed. And yeah, I mean, all I can say is good luck with all your future endeavors, and excellent job on the new book.
Yeah, thank you so much, I appreciate it.
Welcome to the controversial part of our show. As you know, on Talking Point, we always like to discuss some either controversial or thought-provoking issue to encourage you as watchers of our show and members of the birding community to consider conservation, your impact on the environment, and what you can do to make a difference. So my question to you, Christo, is it enough just paying your membership fees to a conservation body like, say, an EWT or BirdLife South Africa, and going, my love for birds and conservation, I've done my bit, or should we be doing more?
Well, it's totally fine if you want to pay your conservation fee to these bodies that contributes to conservation and stuff. But yeah, I believe that as individuals in the birding field, birders, we have to contribute not just that fee, but also hard work. For instance, maybe picking up some papers with our grass owl project that we did, getting rid of some of the poppy weeds. Yeah. That's a huge contribution to a little bird in your area that can make the difference.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I mean, and I'm not for 1 second saying that the conservation bodies are no longer relevant. I think they're vital. Their lobbying power is awesome. But I honestly feel, I got a huge sense of a good feeling when we went into the Crocodile River Reserve and we were pulling out weeds. Yes. Just doing something more than just going, I'm a member of X, I've done my bit. I think there's so many species that are under so much pressure. I think they need more than just the employees of a conservation body that we pay a membership fee to do something for. I think we've got to do something ourselves.
Yeah, and also part of the conservation in our country is to carry that over to the younger generation. We can't just leave it for the birders that goes out every weekend. We can carry that on to our kids. And I mean, if you have an influence on a younger person, you know, help them get into conservation as well. It plays a huge role in local, how can I say, ecosystems.
Yeah, and I mean, I suppose it's a good point you raised there. I mean, the likes of EWT, BirdLife South Africa, they have their education programs.
Yeah.
But they can only reach so many people with the funding they have.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, if we go out there and, you know, even just in our families and our friendship circles, if we can encourage youngsters to participate, we grow the awareness, we grow the feet on the ground, we grow the people loving the birds and wanting them to be protected.
Yes, all of us, we have an influence on someone in our life.
Exactly.
I mean, it can even be your mother or children in your family, friend groups. You can always make a difference by setting an example first.
Yes, no, exactly. So, this is really an appeal to all of you who watch the show, both who just watch the show and those who are part of our community that we sometimes affectionately call Simply Birders. Go out there, make a difference, do something, influence someone to take up birding, to develop a love for nature and conservation, because ultimately in doing that and getting more people out there and more people doing stuff for the environment, we can all make a difference. And again, thanks for watching the show. Please like the video, subscribe to our channel, share it with as many people as you can, and this particular episode, share the message wide. We need to make a difference.